Good evening, welcome to Pin TV Live from Albert's Shed, brought to you by Muck Off. Tonight's a little bit different, as you can see. We have no Uncle Grumpy Stew. I think he's having the second phase of his operation, and they're tucking up in the middle bit.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll be able to call him Sue next week. Tonight we've got 3 guests. We're only going to have one originally, so you better introduce yourselves. You first.
Hey guys, I'm Ben Moore, factory rider for Orange. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hi guys, I'm Simon Clark. I'm not a mountain bike rider, I'm a car driver, but we'll tell you about that later.
Yeah, I'm Xander Rattling, and I'm a photographer and videographer, and I often work with Ben on his films and photos.
Brilliant. Well, over there we have Doc at the helm, as usual, operating it. Me and Doc may look a little bit tired. We've just got back from the Isle of Man, where we've been doing the Manx 2-day Enduro poker store. It's got about 8 different names, but that'll do. And yeah, we got back today, and we're feeling a little bit tender, aren't we, after a bit of a heavy night last night.
We had a couple of beers last night.
Yes, that's right.
20.
So just to start off, before we get the chat underway, to say Ben, his block of glasses that he's wearing tonight.
Oh yeah.
These will be given away as well. Do you want to tell them?
Well, yeah, I suppose these are my own glasses, but we figured it would be quite funny to actually give them away tonight. So whoever leaves the best comment before the end of the show, let's keep it clean, guys. But whoever gives us the best comment, we'll give those away. I'm going to let Doc decide. So yeah, keep it clean, but not too clean.
Yeah. So I think we'll start off and get it underway with a bit of an interview. We'll go from one side to the other. Ben, what got you originally into your sport of mountain biking?
Ooh, big question. I suppose it's the thrill. I just love the thrill, like we all do. We all share that same passion for wanting to go fast, wanting to do something a bit dangerous, staying on the right side of the law most of the time, and just having a good time, really. There's something you can do with your mates, you can do it on your own, and then you can get a bit too competitive with it at times.
And what part of the world are you from?
I live down in Dorset, which is probably the worst place in the UK for mountain biking. I love it.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant seaside town, same as Zander. We both live down there, grew up there, but obviously we spend a lot of time on the road travelling to get to different places. So.
Yeah. And the next question, to yourself?
Me, I don't do anything to do with bikes, like I said, but I got into it through pure chance, really.
Yeah.
I went on a rally experience for my birthday, beat the lap record by 2 seconds, and I left the job, and that was 16 years ago now. And I now work for loads of different manufacturers.
So you went on a rally day and you beat the instructor?
Yes.
On your first go?
Is that good?
Is that your first ever go at rallying?
Yeah, my first ever go in a proper rally car, and I beat the instructor and beat the lap record, and they offered me a job on the day.
Wow, what car was that?
A Mark 3 Astra or something it was, nothing too special, but yeah, I think I did fairly well, and they offered me a job, and I've been doing it for 16 years. So.
Brilliant. And just for those who don't realise, you guys did a video. Ben does a lot of videos, we'll get into all this, but did a video together where it's kind of a race in a way, innit? You're on the Orange, you're in the Aerial
Nomad,
Aerial Nomad, which is like an off-road aerial, like the Aerial Atom, I guess.
Yeah. I had an engine and he still kicked my butt.
Yeah.
You had a little bit further to go though.
Yeah,
like twice the distance, twice the difference.
Oh, fair
Those
enough.
lap times were coming down as it was getting drier. It was like by the end of the day.
Good fun.
So I'm going to say Xander, because Zander doesn't sound right for me. It's got to be Xander, because it's Alexander. It's not. I would never say Alexander.
No,
because it just wouldn't sound right for me. You're a filmmaker. Would you class yourself as a filmmaker or a photographer?
Bit of both. So I started
you work
shooting.
With Ben, don't you?
Yeah. So I started shooting when I was about 15. That's 6 years ago. just photos then, and that was more like surf, and because that's always been my main passion, surfing. And then Ben basically pestered me non-stop for months on end until I started shooting with him, because I've known him for a long time, his family. We live about, 2 minutes away from each other.
Yeah, about that, yeah. Until
we finally did a photo shoot in, I think it was 3 years today actually, wasn't it?
It is,
3 years today.
So it's the very day.
The first did a photo shoot just down the road from my house, and it just went from there really. And we started filming a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it was probably a couple of months after that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We just started getting into it. And
just
snowball effect.
Yeah, little edits here and there, photo shoots, and
Right.
here we are.
Yeah, and they're going really well. So, I mean, what else we've got to talk about really? Orange, I mean, when did you hook up with Orange? How did it get you? How did you get to the point where Orange got on board? When was it?
It's a tricky one really. I guess it's a combination of everything. I was doing these videos with Xander, and we were doing just random stuff in city centres and just trying to be different to all those usual mountain bike videos. So a lot of it was the laughing stock, and everyone joked about ours and how rubbish we were and stuff like that. But then eventually the views and stuff just started to accumulate, and we were getting some big views. And then I went to Orange. Obviously I've been a massive fan of the brand since I was a kid. I've grown up with sort of in awe of the brand and wanting to ride one. And I said, look, can we do something? I'm sure there's something I can do. I'm not a World Cup racer. I don't aspire to be that. I want to do these videos. I want to try and do something a bit different. I still race and things like that. So we started really small. There was nothing really. We started with a couple of different bikes and trying this and trying that. And that was coming up 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
Now we're further on down the line. We're still doing the videos.
Had you aspired in the first place to do what you're doing, or was it just dicking about at first and you just...
Yeah, probably a bit of both.
Yeah,
we're just having fun on bikes, and then a bit of racing in between, and I was alright, I suppose, at that. And so everything sort of complements each other, because I couldn't do the videos if we didn't race, because no one would know who you were, and you couldn't race without doing the videos, because then your presence is there. So for me, it's something a bit different to what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
And it just seems to work.
Brilliant. So you, on your side of the front, you've done this rally day.
Yeah.
You beat the instructor.
And then someone offered me a job.
And where did it go from there? Because that's pretty
basically
kind of interesting.
I used to run a garage. I started working sort of Saturdays and Sundays and stuff like that, working for them, and I started doing more and more weekdays as well. And in the end, my business partner said to me, "Look, mate, make a choice: either lock your toolbox up or stop driving." So I locked my toolbox up, and I didn't open it for a long time. And I just started working for one company, and then you meet someone there and they say, come to this company, and now I work for 16 different companies. I get to do loads of cool stuff with people like him.
So who have you drive for? Who have you driven for?
I drive for Subaru, Mitsubishi, Mercedes, BMW, Porsche, Lamborghini, whoever wants me to go and drive from. So people just phone me up and say, are you free to come and do stuff? And I'll say yes or no, and I'll go off and do some driving. So I've just come back from Finland and the Arctic Circle, making a video out there, which is out fairly soon. I can't say too much about that yet. But yeah, some fairly cool stuff. And then people like Ingrid phone me up and say, do you fancy doing a race down a hill on a mountain bike?
What did you think about that?
To be fair, when I turned up there and I saw how steep the hill was, the video doesn't show how steep the hill is. I absolutely, my backside was eating a chunk out of the seat. But it was so much fun, the most fun I've had. Absolutely.
And did it before he sort of did that? Did you know much about mountain biking?
I've sort of ridden mountain bikes and stuff. Obviously, live in the Cotswolds, so plenty of hills and stuff. I'm a little bit of an adrenaline junkie anyway. So I knew a little bit about them, but nothing like this thing. This is a proper piece of kit. It's like a motocross bike with no engine. Absolutely fantastic.
Well, he says this, but then he goes 120 mile an hour sideways, so I'm not sure who's got the bigger balls.
To be fair, you have. You must. I've got roll cage, seat belts and stuff. See you coming off a few times. It's entertaining.
So you got involved with Ben on the filming. At what point did you? Think this could go somewhere?
I've been busy with uni the last sort of three years, so it's been in between there. But we've started doing a few bits for sponsors, and then just the trips. Any trips, you just get really excited about doing them and wanting to make something out of them. We've done what we've done with Bilbao. We've just done Scotland. Isle of Man
with these nutters.
With you.
We should be talking about
a big weekend.
And I think it's just from now on, it's just onwards and upwards, and we've got a few ideas that we're working on at the moment. So
And just to talk about some figures on these, you're not really going for the YouTube side of things at the moment, are you? You're more Facebook.
Yeah.
But just so that people realise, if they don't know Ben, these numbers are pretty impressive. But I was looking today, and what was the one that had 100,000 views? That was
Don't
one
know,
of them.
which one was that?
But some of them are at mega views.
Yeah, no, it seems to be working. We've sort of worked out there is an algorithm to Facebook. No one knows it. Everyone will tell you they do. That, you know, half knows about social media. They claim that they know this and they know that. No one does. I'd say there's probably 3 or 4 people in the world, and they're the top guys at Facebook that will know the algorithm. The rest of us are amateurs at the end of the day, and we're trying to guess it. But the closer you can guess to it, the better your numbers can be. And we've sort of got a pattern.
Yeah.
And it seems to be working at the moment. But obviously it's content driven still, so we've got to do the fun videos that are a bit out there, they're a bit different, I was saying earlier, to keep people interested and want to watch, want to hit that share button, and go from there, yeah.
So, I mean, it's big business now, isn't it? The sponsorship through social media. Obviously, you're going to have people who are like, hang on a minute, this bloke's not doing his World Cup races, this bloke's not at all the UK races, downhilling.
Yeah.
You're going about it a different path. I mean, what do you say to them? You say, well, hang on a minute, you're getting tons of stuff, but you're not putting the time in I don't know, Fort William or, you know, Revolution or wherever. What do you say to that?
Well, this over the last couple of years that we've all been doing these videos, you're always going to get someone that, the haters we call them, you know, the keyboard warriors that will slam you. That happens to everyone that's even slightly successful. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it's driven by jealousy. But at the end of the day, you know, we're happy doing what we're doing. It's working. I keep my sponsors happy, and I'm happy. At the end of the day, I'm living my dream and doing my dream job. So, you know, good luck to those guys. You do your thing, and I'll do my thing, because I don't want them to go and do my thing because they're better than me.
Yeah. Because it is like it pretty much. If you break it down, all this social media stuff, it's just numbers and advertisement. You're like a big advert now. Really? I mean, could you say that in a way?
I'm not sure I've got the face for it.
They give you the stuff and say, there you go and advertise it. And you're doing it to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
Would you say that's right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people behind the scenes that I'm very grateful for. I've got brothers and cousins and stuff that help me out with the social media, and Xander obviously does a lot as well.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, any sponsorship deal, I think that's where people are going a bit wrong with it. Some people have got the wrong idea, I would say, but just my opinion. They think it's all about that top result. You've got to be the world champion, or you've got to do the latest backflip, tail whip to fakie. You don't. You really don't at all, because, you know, if you do that, but then you go on camera and you're swearing, you're acting like an idiot, you're driving down the street at 100 miles an hour, that's not going to do the representation of the brand that you're sort of advertising any good. And that's just, and I see it on a daily basis. Riders that, in my opinion, are the best in the world. I've got some people that I follow, and they're friends at the end of the day, some of them, but they just don't act great in the other side, and that's the bit that is important at the end of the day. You are an advert, you're trying to represent a company, and there's not many companies that want clowns running around doing silly things and bad language and stuff. But
before we carry on, we'll just have a look at some comments we've got here. Blaze Wall, yes boys. That's a young Irish lad we were in the Isle of Man with. That lad rips. I've got an hour to kill, entertain me. Okay. Hey up lads, nice bike from Coiney. Will Stu be riding in the female class now then? I don't know if he'd make the grade. I reckon
it's pretty quick this weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, Rachel is smoking. Where are we going here? Darset from Rachel Gurney, the previous guest. The beard is coming along, Doc, from 221 JRB. Evening lads, not in tonight. GoPro files, blah blah blah. The future's bright, the future's orange.
Hey.
What's your favourite colour, Ben?
Well, it's orange. That's a silly question, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I love the combo. I'm really happy with this blue and orange. I think it works quite well. That's actually something else I think is quite important for anyone that's trying to get into sponsorship or they want to get out there. If you're in all black, it might look really cool, but it doesn't look great on camera.
Yeah.
And so the photographers don't necessarily pick up on you. So if you've got something, I'm really fortunate. I've got this bike, best bike, I love it. But the colours, they stand out and they're really bright, and you can even see on this, this webcam that it's in your face, and also you'll get the attention from the photographers because it just looks cool. So
we were talking about this today, weren't we, on the whole sort of putting yourself out there when it comes to getting publicity. And you've got the likes of, like, a friend of mine, he's like, everything's got to be murdered out, black this, black that. And then photographers hate it. You'll
Can't
never,
see 'em.
you know,
That's dark.
yeah. It's the worst colour, isn't it, for photography? If you want to get in the magazines, don't get a black bike with black kit, because all you see is the background, and that's it, or a silhouette, unless you've got, you're actually doing a photo shoot and you can sort the picture out prior to it, kind of thing. But,
Yeah.
I guess it's the same in the car world. They've got to be top bling. Talking of car world, you must have driven a hell of a lot of cars.
I've driven a few.
Would you say you've driven all the fast sports cars?
I'd say I've driven most. I haven't driven a few. There's a few that I haven't, like a Veyron and stuff like that, so I don't know how to go on. I know a guy that's got one, but I'm probably not going to get going, to be fair. I've driven most cars there is. So if you ask me what I haven't driven, I'll probably know that more than what I have.
And what was the most insane vehicle you've ever driven?
I drove a Bowler Nemesis, which is like a Paris-Dakar spec Range Rover Sport, from here down to Portugal a few years ago. That was probably the most insane car driven.
Wow.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Space age. Like you get in and just press a button on the dash, it's all like button stuff, and there's a computer screen for like your dials and everything, and it was...
That must be worth a fortune.
£145,000.
Really?
Proper piece of kit.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd have one, I think.
And do you think that, like, going on about the sponsorship, and do you think that the biking world is going over to how it is with cars? Does it sound like that to you?
Yeah, it does.
All brand driven with
the
vehicles,
profile of
bikes
has come up massively. I think to get sponsorship for rallying or something, you have to go for massive money.
Yeah.
Whereas I think you can do it on a little bit smaller scale in your world, and it probably makes it a little bit easier to get the money out. I mean, to do a year's rally, you're looking at 70,000 quid. But for you guys, I know what that costs for you guys to do a year's racing.
Not that much.
Yeah. So
mine only 70,000 quid.
Yeah, likewise, to be fair. But I think it's easier for you guys to get a bit of sponsorship, and you get tons of coverage, don't you? So it's obviously working well.
Nice. All a bit of social media.
Yes. Hey Simon, Rich watching. Rich Williamson.
Yeah, right, cool. All right, Rich.
Okay. So you said the golden word there, money. Because for you, this is your job, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're earning. Are you earning
millions.
money out of this? Do you get people thinking you're earning a fortune?
I've got like a whole
Are you
office
earning anything? What is the situation? How many sponsors have you got? How do you work it?
It's a big question, but it's quite funny because I get some people think, he's not earning anything. He's not living out of this. He's doing something else in the background. And other people say, he's rolling in it. He's got so much money, and it's nowhere near either of those. So I earn just enough to live. Everything I earn, I put back into it to get to the next race, or to get to the next film, or to do another film.
Is he skinflint when you're out on the road? Does he have to be quite skint?
Well, he's feeding me this trip, and I'm starving. So.
Yeah. So I mean, we all know that in the bike world, if you're riding, if you're doing what we're doing, you guys as well, you could just about get by. But for me, that's all I want to do. I don't want to be a millionaire. I just want to wake up every day with a smile. Might sound a bit cheesy, but that's all I like at the end of the day. I'm living the dream.
So how do you work it? When you do these videos, are you tapping into someone like Orange for a lot of money, or are you getting all of them to give you a little bit? How does it work?
Different. So the last 2 weeks, Zander and I have been on the road. We went up to Scotland, Fort William, did a race up there. Then we went down to Isle of Man with you guys. Yeah. And whilst we're doing that, obviously Zander's got his cameras and stuff, and I have my deals with Zander. Yeah. But we've made a film, so it's not cost the sponsors anything. So if anything, it's me sort of putting a little bit into it, but we're making the most of the time we've got. So we launched one this afternoon. I don't know if anyone's seen it. About 5 o'clock was it? Just posted one from the peaks. Real scenic, brilliant video. All credit to Zander, really.
Stop it.
I didn't really do it.
He's very modest filmmaker.
He is.
Very good and absolutely loopy with the drone. I've got to say,
a couple of accidents.
He showed me a few things that we probably wouldn't be allowed to show. Fair play. I've got to say to anyone watching out there, social media is massive now. We all do it. for the likes of us, like Pin TV, you've got to work it a lot to keep everyone interested in your Facebook page. But these guys are a total different level. He taught me a lot this weekend on ways of working it. You seem to know these little secrets which we don't want to give away. They keep us, try and keep us a step ahead of what we will with us soon, hopefully. But it is definitely, that's like your job. You never stop on your phone working it. And,
100%.
I guess that's just self-taught.
Well, yes and no. I mean, it's a bit like when you get an iPhone. The iPhone doesn't come with a manual.
Yeah.
And when you actually think about it, it doesn't. You open the box as an iPhone, you learn it yourself.
Yeah.
And also you learn it from someone going, did you know if you tap the home screen twice you get Siri or you get this or that? So a lot of mine is self-taught. It's just hours and hours and hours, and it really is. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
But then I obviously learn a lot from Xander, from other mates that I've got, and cousins and brothers and everything, that we all chip in. So it's not just me.
Yeah.
But there is definitely some stuff there.
So let's talk about your racing. I mean, you do mainly this crazy street stuff, which I mean, I've done downhill and I do enduro. It's all, everyone can say it's a bit mental, but I don't think it is, because I'm comfortable with that. The same as you with the rally car, going 120 mile an hour. You're comfortable with that. We think that's absolutely insane. If we were sat there, I'd probably poo myself.
So,
but when I watch those videos of that street racing, and you're doing, how big are some of those concrete and wooden jumps?
Some of them getting on for 100 foot.
100 foot.
Yeah.
And I watched it the other day, and I was like, this is insane. And you're the one I watched today, was it in Germany, where you Frankfurt, completely cleared the last set of steps, didn't you? Which was how far down?
I don't know really. It was a standard escalator. But if I did
Just
that, I knew I'd win. So
escalator,
I was like, well, we'll do it then. But it was a bit risky.
And that was on the Orange Crush, wasn't it? No rear suspension, and that's insane. I mean, to me, I watch that and think that is mental. And the tyres, tell them about what you do with the tyres.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
So for the shopping centre one, that's what we're talking about here. Is Frankfurt was a shopping centre race. So obviously, if you imagine the floor, it's as shiny as it gets. It's like riding on ice.
Yeah.
Or driving on ice. There's just no grip. So everyone, it's not that you're cheating or anything like that, but everyone glues the sidewall of the tyres. And we just use a spray glue. You can buy it from Halfords. You can get it for your cars and stuff for the winter use. You just spray the sidewall, so at least when you go in the corner, you've got something there.
Yeah.
But without it, you can't go around. You wouldn't get around the course. Yeah.
Bloody hell. Right. Well, we should be back onto us in a second, guys. It's time for the Saks underwear crash of the week. Saks underwear there behind you, very nice. Sexy pants, you're sponsored by them, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got a few pairs. I think I might be wearing some tonight. I'm not going to show them though.
Stone Challenge, nighttime edition.
I think this is actually
Come on then.
someone doing a stepping stone challenge and making a bit of a mess of it, to be honest.
Oh no, it's not. It's
Dougie.
It's
That's
Dougie. No, this is Dougie. He was
Filmed by Dan.
He was in the Isle of Man with us racing, and he's
So he's done it. Sorry, guys.
he's 50s, isn't he? I couldn't keep up with him up the
56, I
hill.
believe.
Rides with Dan Greenwood from Orange. Absolutely great character. Obviously, we got a bit of a delay here, so we were watching it a little bit later than you. It's fantastic, and this has just gone viral, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. I mean, you've got to say, turn the volume up because the commentary from Dan makes it twice as fun, doesn't it?
Yeah. There you go. Amazing.
Can we send him a new helmet as well as some
Yeah,
boxer
he
shorts?
needs it. So Dougie or Dan or whoever, get in touch.
Just a minute, Dougie, I'll come and help you.
Via our Facebook page, and we'll tell you how to claim your Saks underwear. That's great, isn't it? Brilliant. And what a top bloke as well.
Yeah,
Always
nice
happy.
guy. Yeah.
Always the butt of Dan's jokes, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Dan,
Yeah.
as we'll say, he works for Orange. His best buddy that he works for Orange, doesn't he? He just rides every day, and he's in my category and just annihilates me. So we got any more comments?
After 417.
What's that? Dave Webb. Oi oi, much love from the 417 Bike Park crew. Orange versus aerial shoot was an awesome day at work. Fair play.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
Michael Maiden, really interesting interview. I'm trying to get more well known, so really handy tips, Ben.
Cool.
Brilliant.
Oh,
That's
best
what
of
we
luck
want to
there.
hear,
Yeah.
innit?
Yeah.
What else have we got? Future plans. Future plans from all of you, really.
Cool.
What are they?
Ooh, go on, Xander. Take it away.
Oh,
What's yours?
Mine is, I have absolutely no idea. No, like I said, I've just got out of uni now, so just plugging away, trying to do these freelance stuff, a few bits of Ben, and just see where it takes me. Really, I've got no plans set, and it's a bit daunting, really. And I get reminded of it like this, and
So you've come from surfing,
Yeah.
and it's quite a new thing for you, obviously, the mountain biking.
yeah.
What do you think about the mountain bike scene compared to surfing when it comes to filming?
It's a tough question. In a way, I prefer it because where I'm shooting with Ben, like I get to travel a lot more with it, and surfing is
Less muddy.
Get less muddy. Yeah, and it's a lot colder surfing as well.
Yeah.
But a lot of days standing out in rubbish weather, getting soaking wet, and because obviously in this country the best surf is when it's rubbish weather.
Yeah.
So in that respect, and also I just think I can see myself going further in mountain biking. I've got sort of further and further away from the surf, all because of this guy, which hasn't really been my
I'm not taking the blame for this.
choice. So I can see myself definitely shooting more and more and less surf. So.
Have you ever seen the film On Any Sunday?
I haven't.
Got to watch
Have
that.
you watched that,
That's
yeah?
from the 70s.
With the speech.
Done by a bloke called Bruce Brown, and he was originally a really famous surf filmer,
Okay.
and then he went into the motorbike world,
Yeah.
and it was Steve McQueen was in it, and then all these famous American guys. It's the film that got me into any type of bikes. It's absolutely fantastic. You've got to see
Maybe
it.
it'll do the same to me.
Yeah,
I'll watch
You
it.
never know. So,
Might fully convert me.
yeah, what your future?
My future?
Yeah, you're only young.
40 now.
That's
Getting
young
on, to be
compared
fair,
to
it's
me.
great. I'd love to get into driving day now, like you do. You get to do what you do on a daily basis and stuff. I have to work my backside off for a guy who doesn't like paying very well, but he
Right.
just pound the flesh.
So
So
it's not
basically,
working,
what I'd love to do is get into like Fast and the Furious, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And get into being paid for being showing off. Basically, is what I love doing.
There's
at the moment.
talking of showing off. There's something in there, isn't there? That's.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
I might have been dressed up as someone went once in a while. This is a proper expensive piece of kit, to be fair. But
And if anyone doesn't recognise this,
You've got to stick it on.
You've got to stick it on, yeah.
You've got to stick it on.
Yeah.
The best day's work I ever get is when someone says to me, "Come and drive a car all day and wear this," because I know I haven't got to talk to a single soul.
Yeah.
People get in the car next to me and I take them out and scare the shit out of them, bring them back, and then I'm done. So yeah, this is how like the best job in the world is wearing.
look at that. How cool
That's
is
familiar,
that?
isn't it?
It's quite scary, actually.
Yeah.
It's a pretty sinister.
It's quite intimidating.
Yeah, that's the best job you can get is when someone gets in the car and they just say, right, just go and go as sideways as you can, and there's some bloke turning white next to you.
You must have terrified a few people. Have you had them
I've
screaming and?
had a guy in a full face helmet fill the helmet up from the inside.
Really?
It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. He's got stuff going down him, but literally a full face helmet with a little chin bit under it to keep your chin warm, and he's thrown up and it's just filled up inside, and you had to sort of flip the bike
So put your foot down.
Yeah.
Ben, you told us a little story about was it the 417? Where?
Oh, I don't know if we should repeat this. Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Well, it's not my fault, it's his fault.
Yeah. Go on.
Hey,
Then.
what?
No, yeah.
Go on, tell it.
Oh, all of us are going to lose our jobs, aren't we? So we were filming the. Shout out to Dave, by the way, from 417, and everyone from the 417.
Yeah, good.
So
Good
it
bacon
was.
baps.
It was
Great bacon baps.
and we had a few, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
We got through a few of those. So one of the best days at work that I think all of us have had, really. It was just fun and such a laugh. But at the end of the day, Si says to me, "Oh, right, we finished filming. Right, jump in, and I'll take you up the hill." And the car he took me up the hill in was the car we used for filming. It's an aerial Nomad. It's one of the fastest accelerating things I've ever been in, and I like my cars, but this was just bonkers. And for anyone who knows the 417, we went up the drive. Up the entrance and through the cattle grid, where it's a slight right into sort of a steep uphill before the buildings. I'm pretty sure he went through the gate sideways at least 60.
At least.
Sort of clipped the bank deliberately, obviously. just straightened up just before the office, and then took off, landed on the drive just before the pump track, and pulled into the car park.
Oh, God.
And I was white, very white.
Yeah.
Do you want the honest truth? That was as near to going onto the dual carriageway as I've ever been in my life, to be fair. That was nearly through the fence on the other side. And all it was literally, I was just trying a little bit harder because he was in there.
Yeah.
The tyres were like really soft pressure, so they sort of rolled under the car.
Yeah.
So as I turned in, they rolled a little bit. As I came out the corner, it just fired the car back that way, and I had to and it literally we ended up on the bank at about 60, 70 mile an hour. It was quite entertaining.
Yeah, and for anyone who knows the 417 will know how sketchy that is. You probably go up the drive at 10. If you go at 20, you're being a bit naughty. So to go at 60 sideways was just, that was an adrenaline rush.
They might have an interesting phone call later on.
Yeah, I think both of us might now.
I thought I'd actually dropped some Maltesers in the car, but I realised afterwards they weren't Maltesers.
So 8 o'clock, Doc. 8 o'clock, Doc. That sounds good.
8 o'clock, Doc.
It's time for the trailhead photo of the week.
Well, what I've done this week, guys, is I've actually used one of the pictures I took at the Isle of Man this weekend.
Well, let's have a look.
As we're talking about it, so this was just running down the track at Pringle, I think. So it's up on Pringle. I don't know who it is in the saddle, but I just.
It's one of Doc's own photos. It'll be up in a minute, don't worry. It's
Yeah,
always in
you
the
got it
light.
there, boys?
We'll be back in a minute. And while we're waiting for that, I shall mention all our show sponsors, should I say. So we got Trailhead, Mudhugger, V-Tire, Bum Butter, Invisiframe, the Mountain Bike Adventure Portugal, and of course Muck Off. And there we are. There's the picture. Nice picture, Doc.
Awesome.
Start criticising it.
Yeah, too much
I
light
don't think I
exposure.
can. Try and pick it apart. No, it's too
Transition
good.
isn't very good, whatever that means. Could have picked up the ISO, Doc. Come on.
Yeah, we were learning all about this morning on the
Yeah,
boat at 6 o'clock this morning.
Yeah. So, I think it's time for the quickfire questions, lads. This is a nice, simple one. And I'll just go from one to the other.
There we go.
Okay, so some of it won't apply to you.
Okay, that's cool. I shan't
I'll
answer.
try and change it.
You're off the
Actually.
hook
I'll see if I didn't think about this because you're like the last minute, weren't you? So I'll try and change it and see how thick I am. Pump track or dirt jumps?
Dirt jumps.
Concrete or gravel?
Gravel every day.
Pump track or dirt jumps?
Dirt jumps.
Oh, fuck. Hard pack or dirt?
Dirt.
4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive?
4-wheel drive.
Right. Hard pack or dirt?
I'm going to pretend I know what I'm talking about and say dirt.
All right. Surf or mountain bike?
Oh, you can't ask me.
You've got a gun to your head. You've got a gun to your head, and they're going to.
can't do it. Mountain bike.
Good lad. Good lad. Downhill or enduro?
Downhill.
Formula 1 or Formula 3000?
Formula 1's for the Nancies, so
Yeah.
Formula 3000.
Yeah. Okay. Nikon or Canon?
Canon. Way
Oh,
better.
Doc,
Way
look
better.
at that.
Doc's going to twat you on. Flat out and scary, techie or type?
Flat out and scary. Don't even bring the other one into it.
Okay. Same for you.
Flat and scary,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Long lens or close?
Bigger the better. Long lens.
Okay. Racing or riding with your mates?
Hasn't got any, mate.
Yeah, I ain't got any mates, so big. Oh, it's tough. Riding with your mates.
Racing or track days?
Rallying, much better feeling.
Okay.
Much better feeling.
White socks or black socks?
White socks. I'm wearing them.
Yeah. Okay. 29 or 27.5?
I'm going to say 27.5 this week,
Yeah.
and we'll see what happens next week.
Racing in the wet or the dry?
Wet. Every
Right.
day.
This bloke's a proper driver, isn't he? Right then. Beer or lager? Beer or lager? Yeah, beer or lager.
Lager.
Okay.
You drink anything. What are you talking about?
Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Coffee.
Who's making it?
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Dogs.
Dog.
Sound.
Thanks.
Fight or mediate?
Oh, it depends. If I'm in the queue for a Big Mac, fight. Anything else, mediate.
Fight or mediate?
Mediate.
Mediate.
Unless they're in the middle lane.
Yeah. You're going off.
And finally, burger or healthy?
Oh, don't
We
even
know this
consider
one.
it.
Know the answer.
Don't even pretend to be healthy.
Burger.
I've got to say healthy.
Good lad.
Burger every time.
Burger. Okay, so that's that sorted. We've got other stuff here. We've got lots more to talk about. What time are we on? I think we should talk about the Isle of Man. It's got to be talked about, hasn't it?
It has.
What a place.
Yeah.
You must have gone to the Isle of Man, didn't you?
I've never been to
Racer?
the Isle of Man.
Really?
Always wanted to go, never got
Oh
there.
God. For a car driver?
Yeah.
There's
I
no
know.
speed limits.
I
I
know,
can believe
I
it.
know.
I still can't believe it. I'm still convinced
Yeah.
that they've all had us on
It
this
is
weekend. But there's no speed limits on the Isle of Man.
It's an awesome place, isn't it? And it's full of the most awesome people.
It is.
Definitely.
There's
Yeah.
no. How can you describe how good it is? There's no airs of graces, is there? There's no such
Yeah.
thing as a posh person in the Isle of Man. If there is, no one can be arsed with them.
Yeah.
There's
Trustworthy is through the roof. That's what
nothing's
I like.
locked up
Nothing.
because nobody really nicks stuff. Because if they do, they get absolutely hammered. I mean, as in like the laws are
Yeah.
strict. 30 zones are 30 zones. If you go over the 30, you get really hammered. But then in the mountain roads, it's like 230.
Yeah.
The craziest roads.
And what else would you say about the place?
I suppose we should probably touch base on the mountain biking. It's pretty good there, isn't it?
It's alright.
It's alright,
It's
you know.
alright. It's very new.
It
Do you
is,
know
yeah.
that all those Enduro trails weren't there sort of 4 years ago?
Didn't know
They've all
that.
been done in the last 4 years, and it is the most techie, gnarly stuff for
Did suit me.
Enduro bikes that I've probably ever ridden.
Yeah.
And a fair play, you said when we got there, because before this, I'd looked at some of your videos and that, and I thought, he does all this street stuff, but he's going to be pretty handy on this, that, and the other. And you got there, and you said, on that first day of practice, you said to me, "This isn't my thing."
Yeah.
And you were saying, "Where's the steps?" And you were like, you weren't bothered about it, but you were like saying, "Bloody hell, this is a bit." But you did well, didn't you? Where did you get in the end?
I got third in the end, so
Yeah.
I'm over the moon with that. But I sort of, to be honest, I forgot about the race because I was having such a good time
Yeah.
with you guys
Yeah.
and all the people we met. And I'd like to give a good shout out to them because
Yeah.
Steve, the organiser, his family, and all of the people behind the scenes there. What awesome people!
Yeah.
Like the hospitality
They're
is
so
fantastic,
positive, so
Positive.
very driven people, aren't they?
Yeah.
But
and just so welcoming to us.
arseholes with it. If you know,
Yeah.
a lot of driven people are knobheads, aren't they? They're not at all.
Yeah. So yeah, I forgot about the racing. We just had a good time and just chasing everyone around the trails. I've never laughed so much. I was
Yeah.
steaming up my goggles from crying with laughter because it was just such a funny, hilarious day on the Friday. And then I sort of just tried to do again the same on the Saturday and the Sunday, and what a hilarious weekend.
And it was great that for the first time this year, this is the third year I've been, that firstly the race was full for the first time ever. Bearing in mind it's such a tiny little island, it's got the same, I think 80,000 people, the same population as Shrewsbury over the whole island, which is, can you remember how
I think
long
is
it
it
is?
30 miles around? You'll know this.
Something
37,
like that.
I reckon.
Yeah. The longest drive you'll ever do in the Isle of Man, I think Al, big up Al, that we
Yeah.
stayed with, the naked mole rat. He's the longest drive you'll do is an hour from one end to the other, so that's how small it is.
And that's not driving like Si. That's
No.
driving
No.
really
boys
slow.
doing
Yeah,
like 13 minutes or whatever. it is.
Yeah.
Oh man, when I went to watch the TT and I remember seeing the guy over there doing it in the Subaru, and it
Yeah,
was just
he is.
insane how fast he went.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he beat the bikes in certain
Yeah.
places, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he reckoned, I can't remember what it was now, he said if something, I can't remember what that something was, had happened, he would have beaten the bikes overall.
Have you seen the one last year where he's got the journalist next to him and he goes down the bottom of Bray Hill? And
No.
The car goes literally, he's doing 150
Oh, yeah, I did
miles,
see
he goes
that,
lock to
yeah,
lock.
yeah.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
That must have been a proper scary moment.
But everything about the Isle of Man, it's all sort of, they're very outdoorsy people, because basically what Bear said to me, I was talking to him about this, he said, if you don't do any cool outdoorsy stuff here, he says, what the hell are you going to do? So everybody does some sort of sport, hobby, rallying, motorbiking, motocross, car racing, trials. And
Yeah, that's it. I mean, while we were there, we were riding around
yeah.
doing our enduro transitions, going between, and we got motocross bikes going past with
yeah,
trials
trials
motorbike
bike,
goes
the
that
max
way.
2 day on, didn't they?
Yeah. And everyone, the friendliness is really sort of. We're not shouting about it enough, I don't reckon.
No,
'Cause
no.
the motorbikes are going past, everyone's waving, and
Yeah.
just like it was just such a happy place where you felt completely safe.
Yeah.
You could go out at 2 o'clock in the morning, like you do, and
Yeah.
do whatever
Yeah.
you want, and stagger home, and know you're not going to get mugged.
How nice was it? Just like wherever we went and parked or whatever, especially you, the truck,
Yeah.
bikes in the back, and just leaving them there,
Nothing
and
to
knowing
worry
they were
about.
there when you come back. It was so nice, wasn't it?
Wish that was like that
Yeah.
here. I mean, it was quite weird to get used to. Like a day or two with 3, 4, 5 bikes strapped on the back of the truck, literally just hanging over the back. We'd leave it on a side road and go and eat in a restaurant down there. Couldn't see it, it's outside. I don't know. We'd come back and no one would have touched it. And if only it could be like that everywhere else.
Yeah, very true.
The world would be a better place. Yeah.
So I want to talk a bit more about the Isle of Man in a sec, but it's time for product of the week. And this is, we've got the photo, Doc?
Yeah, I got the photo of these.
So this is from Rock Guards, this was sent us. This is the downhill version. This is a number board holder made out of carbon fibre of all things. Very nice. Extremely light, don't know the weight, sorry, but it's carbon, so it's not heavy. This is the downhill one which attaches to the fork stanchions, wherever you want to put it, I guess at the top, but at the bottom you're going to be in trouble, aren't you? And then you've got the Enduro one which sort of goes like that and attaches to the bars, and I used mine this weekend for the first time. Brilliant, fantastic. Comes with these little stickers you put on and you stick it like Velcro onto your number board. It's all neat and tidy, all the cables are out of the way, and you can see by the photo of my one here, you can cover it in your sponsors or things you're testing. Great, so that they're coming in at, for the Enduro one, $19.99, and for the downhill one, £18, and that's from Rock Guards. That's that out of the way. Back to the Isle of Man.
It's easy. Yeah, let's go back to the Isle of Man.
Nicely, not too much information I've got to think of. Made in Shropshire, by the way. The race itself. Now you look at the Isle of Man, you think little place, piece of piss to get round there. One of the hardest things you've done?
Yeah, well, I'm glad I'm sat in a comfy chair at the moment, because by the end of it, I think we clocked, it was over 90 Ks throughout the 2 days, which I'm not built for. I'm not ready for that at all. But then if you want to think about the value for money for it, it's not that they were mugging us off and making us go around millions of miles. It was actually real good transitions where you're actually riding with your mates, going down awesome trails. But then if you think about it, the race entry, I think, was it 50 quid? It's about 50 quid.
Yeah.
So 50 quid for 2 days, that's 5 stages each day. You know, you get a beer and a burger at the end of each day, which we all know I like the burger, you like the beer.
Yeah.
And you think, that value for money, you can't get that over here.
No.
So, next year, maybe they can open it up to 200 or 300 and...
He said he reckons it could go 200 maximum,
Yeah.
and that would be amazing. And we had 10 stages, all different, weren't they? Everyone different, and all. I think there was one that had sort of stone kind of trail centre-ish, the one I crashed on.
Bike park, we love
yesterday. But even that was exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the rest were all natural. Some scary stuff, some techie stuff, loads of flowy stuff that was just so much fun, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But I didn't like the push-ups.
They
I'm
were
just not
steep.
good at pushing up.
No.
It kills me.
No, we need Si in the aerial
Yeah,
nomad to
yeah,
tow us up.
yeah.
We had the bike strapped to that as well, didn't we?
Yeah, that's the best uplift vehicle you could ever have.
Yeah, I'll do that.
God, that'd be brilliant.
Fastest one.
200 times in a day.
Yeah, get more laps in with that,
Yeah,
wouldn't we? Yeah.
So we did this race, and every year it's been won by Jim Marshall, who's a good downhiller from over there, and he comes over here and he's one of the top expert riders in the downhill, in the British Downhill Series. He's a good rider, and he got beaten this year, didn't he?
He did.
Callum Russell of Continental Saracen.
Yep.
Went over there with his mate Jim. Jim also on the same team, but Jim was filming on his very posh, expensive camera, wasn't he?
Yeah, Zander knows more about that camera. You were getting excited, weren't you?
Yeah, I was a little bit. Yeah.
He's doing the edit with us, isn't he? So the pinned edit is going to be superb from there. I'm really excited about it. And Callum, he just handed
He
Jim's
was on
ass on the
fire.
plate to him, didn't he? Really?
And all of us, really.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was just.
yeah, he smoked everyone.
Is that my phone?
That's mine.
Whee!
Click that.
Flick him over.
Sorry.
It's alright,
Is
don't
it
worry
Tinder
about
calling?
it. There we
Is
go.
it a Tinder match?
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
Oh, you just said the wrong thing, haven't
Yeah,
you?
we've got-
Tinder, you just reminded me
Yeah.
about
Oh,
something.
I was going to. This Rachel Learning has reminded me.
Yeah, I've been asked to
Has
ask
she?
you about
Oh,
Tinder.
thanks,
What's all
Rachel.
this about then?
Where do we go with this? So we were down in Falmouth for the Urban Downhill. This is last year, so we've just gone past. It's just over a year old now, isn't it? And obviously, when we're going back to these videos that we're talking about, we're always trying to make something that's different and that's out there, and that something that people are going to look at. It's light-hearted, nothing too serious, nothing inappropriate, but maybe sometimes on the borderline. And
Yeah.
and this was. It was just a light-hearted video with saying that I was on Tinder. I'm not. Okay, so don't get the wrong idea. But we were messing about with it, and we made a video, and it was one of those ones that went viral. It was just a funny little video, racing around Falmouth, chasing the girls,
Looking for his Tinder match.
looking for the Tinder match.
Did you
Yeah.
find your sister on it? Sorry.
Wow, we did actually find Xander's sister on Tinder. Oh, that's awkward.
So how
isn't
many
it?
videos you got out there now?
I don't know, we did tally it up, didn't we? I think we're over 30 major projects. That's the ones that Xander works on, and we, and yourself, we're making those, and then all the little fillers. Like, this weekend, Xander picked up the camera when I was bike washing, and my mate Blaze, who I think is watching at the moment, decided it was a good idea to just jet wash me and the bike, and we do bits like that in
I
between.
got a lot of views as well, didn't it?
Yeah, I think that was over 50k, so that was quite a good one. But
It's going well, that isn't it?
yeah, all good fun.
Right then, let's have a look at what we got on here, boys. You want to get in and have a look? Dan Greenwood, Dougie will be very happy with that
Hey!
dog. All right, Dan. Right then, what else have we got here? What else you got? Anything you've seen? Any comments you've seen, Doc?
Yeah,
There
we've got Jimmer, Adam here. Ben did awesome this weekend. Asking about the first time we rode some wet tech together. So this is off.
So this is the practice day I think he's referring to. It didn't really go to plan. We were coming down, I can't even remember what stage it was. As I say, we were laughing. Well, I was laughing so much, I was crying. Not paying attention. I'm not particularly good at this time of riding, and just went off the side of a mountain, and I don't know where I went. I think Dan was behind me, Jim was in front, and they just disappeared, and I was somewhere down in the bushes, quite a long way down. Yeah. Cheers, Jim.
Right, how are your heads after last night? Well, you two were alright, didn't you? Shied off.
I know,
You're very disappointed.
We were serious athletes, you see, so we went and got burgers instead of beer.
We had about 20 gin and tonics last night, didn't we, Doc?
Yeah.
Didn't regret that this morning, getting on a boat at 7 o'clock.
Well, I've got people in deck. It's kind of getting me now. It's not good.
Bradley Meakin, now he needs a shout out, doesn't he? Little Brad, he stayed with us. And Jim as well, didn't he? Jimmy rides for Global Racing on the what they call Jummatrons.
Yeah.
James Hurst, sorry. He's a bit of a operator on a
Weapon.
downhill bike. Put
He's
him on an Enduro bike. What does he do? Just crashes everywhere, constantly crashing.
But
Every
Max 10,
single
so
run.
credit to him,
The
'cause Max
fastest
10.
crasher I've ever seen. And then, but Bradley Meakin, I've got to mention, he was about 18, isn't he? Something like that.
Yeah.
And he'd been on. He's Jim's mate, and Jim dragged him along and got him into biking 3 months ago. And he's a championship motocross ACU rider, so he's a proper rider on a motorbike. So new to the mountain bike. Remember how good he was getting off those jumps? Higher than anyone, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And just
jump
crashing his brains out as well.
But they had a good weekend.
Yeah.
Decent blokes, yeah.
Rachel Gurney, Jim, Adam here. Ben did awesome. Oh, we already said that. Sorry. Did Doc get lost again like Degler last week from Coiney?
I didn't get lost in Degler, I just didn't read the scale of the map. It was only 16 kilometres.
Yeah.
It wasn't far.
That's nothing on 20 G&Ts though, is it?
So how far did you boys? Did you do a lot of walking this week? weekend?
No, it was
Not too much.
It was pretty easy.
You were
To be
lifted,
honest.
they give you quite a lot of lifts, didn't they?
Yeah, we got lifts about, and you can see both sides of the island from the top of the hill, so you
Yeah.
don't get lost. Don't you?
The views are amazing, aren't they?
Oh,
Yeah. And the wildlife as well. It seems to be more wildlife there. Did you not notice when you got up there was like 1 million birds everywhere?
I didn't notice.
The flying ones.
Oh, the flying ones. Yeah. Back on track.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway.
yes. So that was it. Brilliant weekend.
It was awesome. Best weekend I've had. Riding weekend with mates. You can't
Yeah.
beat it.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't want to wait until next year. We've already said this. We're going to go back.
Yeah.
We'll probably do a video.
Yeah.
I want to get back over, see Jim, see all the boys, see
Yeah,
Al,
yeah.
Steve and his lads. And,
And I've just got to say, for anyone who may be interested, that was the first proper outing for the Fat Lad bike. And, well, you know, you're riding with it. There wasn't one problem, was there?
yeah. This is where I could slate it. No, it was brilliant.
No, there
Held
wasn't
up.
one problem, really. It
Held
was,
up nearly as well as the
yeah,
orange.
yeah,
Obviously not
yeah.
quite as good, but yeah.
These silly
Sure.
little wheels. Yeah, so that was really good. Other things to mention, what we got coming up. You'll be doing, obviously, from filming from this. I did something a little bit different from Landegler. Was it last weekend?
Last weekend.
Yeah. At the Welsh Enduro, instead of just doing a little sort of vlog edit on the race, we've actually done a thing on how to race enduro. So the whole time I'm like getting the camera and saying, don't forget to hydrate, don't forget to do this and that, and hopefully it'll be very informative to anyone who wants to race.
And funny. There's
Yeah,
gonna be
there's
some
definitely
comedy
some
there.
daft stuff in there, isn't there?
There's
Yeah,
always that stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly. So I think that leaves us, well, time to. Should we go for that best comment? Have you seen a best
Oh
comment?
yeah.
Has anyone come out with a comment?
I've got a question. Going back to Tinder.
Yes.
On
Really?
Xander's sister, did you swipe left or right?
Brother's code. Brother's code. I informed
He
him of the
behaved.
situation and I turned my phone off.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because
Maybe.
I'm sure I would have been swiping.
So I haven't seen that many comments on that could win these glasses. I don't know about you. Have you seen anything?
Yeah,
like
come on guys, you got
Couple of
what
top
6
maybe.
minutes to say
Yeah.
something outrageous, but keep it sort of clean.
Yes.
Yeah, there's nothing really.
Oh, me and Kim make our favourite race kit. What's that mean then?
Orange.
I don't get that. Evening, yes. Okay, so shall we do a question then? We'll do a question.
Yeah.
What position did I end up in the veterans in the race? It's got to be in thingy. Hopefully no one heard that. There'll be another one for in here for this awesome prize. And this is to win your glasses for
We
anyone.
got one,
Yeah.
Jim. Dan Addis.
Dan Addis. Yeah, well done Dan Addis. Get in touch. Fourth, correct. You got it. So you got these glasses which you'll
There you
get
go.
them now.
There
You
you
know what'll
go.
happen, you'll walk off without them.
I'm
You have to
going to
send-
put them down here,
you
Dan.
have to send
Otherwise, I
them to
will
me.
forget it. Look after them. They're my
Jim,
favourite.
can you see that message off Steve Porter?
Shout out to Matt with the fractured back at Easter's last week. It's almost like a little rhyme, isn't it?
It is a bit.
Shout out to Matt with the fractured back. Not really a rhyme you want about yourself though, is it? Shout out Matt, fair play. Hopefully he's healing up well.
Yeah, healing vibes, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got this. This is one of your sponsors.
Yeah.
Do you want to thank your sponsor? While we're on, do you want to go through your sponsors?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Gotta
Yeah,
say it
so-
in American accent and then
Have I?
thank God at the end. You're gonna thank the big guy.
No, obviously, really appreciate like all the sponsors. Everyone knows that you can't do what you're doing. All of us, we're all in the same boat, so we rely heavily on the sponsors. But obviously, Orange, they're my number one. That's where I'm at, and really appreciate what they do, all the bikes, and I truly believe they're the best bikes. I really wouldn't switch it. If someone come along tomorrow, I'd quite happily stay on that. This bike in particular, the Alpine 6, if I may talk about it without too much of a plug.
Well, what you want,
well,
mate?
let's do it. So this is my favourite bike. This bike I've used for downhill racing, enduro racing this weekend, and it podiumed. I don't believe that I did it. The bike did it.
Yeah.
And it's unbreakable. That's the key to it. Like we smashed it on when we did the film Aerial Nomad. We were just hammering it, and it doesn't break.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound like I'm trying to break it, but they just do what they're supposed to do, and so I love that bike. That's my number one. Block glasses. There you go, Dan. There's my second one. So yeah, shout out to those guys. I use the goggles obviously for my racing, and I love those. Again, it's cheap and cheerful with those. They work. They're about half the price of some of the other branded stuff, which I wouldn't ever slate, but about a fraction of the price, and they do just as good a job.
Yeah.
Kaiser Bass is my head camera stuff, so that's what, to be honest with you, most of the films, and Zana's been using the Kaiser Bass cameras and stuff. Everyone thinks it's another action camera company, which I'm not going to name, which everyone goes on about all the time.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's Kaiser Bass. We use it for all our stuff, and it does the job. Again, it's a lot cheaper as well. So
Fraction
I like
of the price, I should
it.
imagine.
Really is. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a fraction of the price, and it does the job. So I love it, and I use it for racing. And then Noba. Noba. They set up sort of event
Nova,
Wi-Fi.
Vauxhall Nova.
No.
Oh.
Careful, you're getting him excited again.
Yeah. Nova.
So Nick from Noba sets up Wi-Fi anywhere you like. So just to give an example of it, we're out to World Cup beginning of the year, Lords. We're staying, lovely family in the middle of nowhere. There's no internet or anything, but we still managed to watch the AJ and Klitschko fight. He managed to move around some satellites and stuff. So if you want a Wi-Fi,
Is that how they work it? They actually move satellites?
Yeah, he was
really?
moving satellites from his phone. He was on the phone, and yeah, it was
God.
awesome. So I managed to watch that, so that's thanks to him, and he just happens to be a really big mountain bike fan as well, so that's why we're sort of working
Handy.
together.
Yeah.
And obviously Ford, so my latest one is Ford for a motor group. Got this nice new shiny truck, which I'm still scared of. Been driving a banger of a van for
Pretty
about
nice,
3 years,
I've
but
got to say. Yeah.
I drive it around like an old man because I'm a bit scared of it, but yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Do you want me to show you what to do?
No, please, no, Si, no.
Now that would be a good film.
Oh,
Maybe you should get onto him before you give it back. Say, look, we're going to want to
We
give it
know a
one
guy.
final test.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Would it go back to them though?
Yeah, of course it would.
Bits of it, or
No, Nomad went back in the same condition, didn't it?
they did, yeah.
No damage, no
Just.
scratches. It was close, but no damage, no scratches.
Have you two got any future stuff lined up?
There's been a couple of pints out, hasn't there?
There's
Couple
talk of a
beers
few
and-
things.
Yeah,
And one in particular, but it's all a bit hush hush at the moment.
Right, okay.
Soon to be released.
Yeah. Can you give anything away? Snippet?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Move on
Sorry
from that.
guys.
Yeah.
Very soon.
I think you'll be more scared than I will.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'd agree with that.
That'll do.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'd guess that involves a bit of airtime.
Maybe some air. Maybe some speed.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
taking the old.
Well, you know.
He
Yeah.
rides even faster when he's done something.
Yeah.
Only on Saturdays.
Yeah. Wow. So that's it for your sponsors.
Yeah,
Coming
which I guess
on.
it brings us on to this bad boy. It's one of my
Yeah.
favourites. The protein shakes. This is the chocolate one. I think we're going to give this away to one of the guys here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Are we going to ask them a crazy question or something?
Yes. Can you think of one?
Oh,
On the spot.
who's the first one to do 60 press ups?
60?
My mum's well, that's what Todd was doing earlier, wasn't he? He was flying with them.
No, I asked him to. He didn't do one.
You seem good with these questions.
Funny, isn't it, with these
It is,
questions?
on the spot.
I really should have asked before.
Biking
Okay,
audience.
what's the truck that he's driving?
Ford Ranger.
Boom! Come and get this, dude.
Ford Ranger. There you go. Protein shake. Every boy's dream.
There we go.
So I think we're about out of time. We've filled our hour. I think we've done it quite comfortably. Thank you very much for coming on, guys. If you want to just give your social media.